One of the most heartbreaking realizations is that success oftentimes creates envy within the very people that you love the most. You will have family members, you will have best friends, people you have known throughout your life who will see you becoming successful. And this may look, different for everybody. For one person, that success may be financial and with career. Some, it may be in relationship. Others, it may be in health and maybe a combination of every aspect of our life that matters most to us. But when you start to change for the better, when you start to adapt healthy habits and you start to commit to those decisions, you will find yourself more often than not repelling the very same people that once claimed to love you. And it's a heartbreaking realization, but it is also an essential one. And when you expect to have people switch up around you, then it won't have you, first of all, gaslight yourself into believing that you're doing something wrong, right? Because these individuals may look to shame you. They may look to, suppress you. They may look to pull you right back to where they are, i.e. the crabs in a barrel type of mentality. They will look to subvert your success. And if you buy into it, you will believe that you're the one in the wrong. It doesn't matter how much you try to help them, how much you try to do for them. You try to pull them up to rise up with you. You want to create positions for them. You want to put them into a place where they can become successful. You want to give them opportunity or maybe even give them resources straight up. It doesn't matter how much you do for a person who is so deeply insecure, who is so ashamed of themselves, who feels so inadequate that when they see you successful, it is triggering something far deeper within them that they have to resolve. It's not your job and it never will be. And so that being said, I want to get into the short clip of this young lady named Claressa Shields. Now, I heard another content creator named Antoine Daniels. It's a French version. Anton Daniels speaking on this subject or this specific video. I'd never seen it before. I'm only hearing of this young lady now because her name is popping up for other reasons, unfortunately, other than her sports. But let's go through this clip and I'm going to give my 2 cents.
People say it's lonely at the top, but damn, this lonely?
Claressa, you got more fame and more money than you ever have in your life. How's your family dealing with that?
Sadly, I have, and it's not just from family and close, but it's close friends who I grew up with. Some people I never thought I'd be living my life without. Listen, I done bought every last one of my siblings a car.
Really?
Bought my mama a house, my mama 2 cars, my daddy a car. Help him with his bills, help mama with her bills, help my sister take care of her 3 kids. Her 3 kids live with me. I go there, sit with the teachers, go to teacher conferences. I do all this stuff, and it seemed like the more you do, the more that they don't like you. People say it's lonely at the top, but...
I used to say that you can't save everyone. I've switched that to you cannot save anyone. Simple as that. You can do everything within your power to aid somebody in their process, to guide them, to give them insight, to educate them, but you cannot save them. There are going to be individuals who will continue to perpetuate the very same toxic and negative behaviors throughout their entire life. That's what they do. That's what they know. That is their conditioning and their programming, and they're choosing to stay stuck. Now, success is an interesting thing because most of society has a love-hate relationship with success. Almost everybody wants it, but most people are not willing to do the things necessary to get it. And so when they see it within another person, oftentimes it's just expressed as envy, right? You have a very small subsect of the population who can see somebody successful in the way that they're not and be genuinely happy for that person. And that's what I call a true friend, who is the rarest type of individual that you can find. If you can find somebody who can be there with you and for you and celebrate you with you having when they don't have the same thing. For example, you finally find yourself in a beautiful dynamic relationship. Maybe now you're married, you're about to have your first kid, and your homegirl, she hasn't got her man yet. Her soulmate has not walked into her life yet. She doesn't have the kid, but she's living in a righteous way. She's living in a way in accordance with that. And her blessing may have not come yet, but nevertheless, she is still able to support you. That type of person is golden because the nature of, and I'm not going to say it's an inherent nature, it's a taught aspect of our personality. I put it that way. It's normalized, not natural, where we are created to be in competition with one another. There is jealousy. There is animosity between daughters and mothers, fathers and sons, two brothers, whatever it may be. This is a tale as old as time. To see somebody having something that you do not and wanting to have that thing, or even worse off, which is jealousy, which is not wanting the other individual to have the thing that they have. And that is again, it's an unfortunate aspect of the process of becoming the person you were always meant to be, but you will find yourself on the other side prospering. You become more peaceful. I actually believe it's a necessary part of the process to weed all the individuals who would otherwise drag you down so you cannot actually make the change you need to make. Whatever necessary change you need to make in your life in order to, be successful, and then you become an inspiration to others, and then you can actually guide and help those who are ready. In order for you to become that, you have to let go of this need for the validation of those people who you might never get it from. You want it most from, but you might never get it from. You heard this young lady right here. She is taking care of her sister's 3 kids. She is housing the children. And we all know what type of situation and story that is. That's a baby daddy situation. Where's the father? It's a baby daddy situation. Typical, modern hip hop culture sort of mentality of, well, these kids need somewhere to stay. Why not with their mother and father? Because that's not what's prioritized within such environments. So now the kids are staying with the big sister. She's taking care of everybody's bills. She's paying for everybody's houses. She's paying everybody's car note off. And yet there is still not just a lack of gratitude. That's different than those who are actively trying to tear you down from where you are. Crabs in the barrel. These would be the same sisters, etc., going out to the press and speaking down about their sibling. I remember seeing a clip in the 80s. Well, I was not in the 80s, but from the 80s. Oprah Winfrey speaking to Madonna's sister. And, it was one of those typical conversations of, my sister's this and that and this and that. But then she came out at the end and said, I felt like I was always supposed to be maybe like the more talented one, and like I was supposed to be successful too. And the truth really came out of her. Now, it might have not been her intention for it to be so, but nevertheless, you got to see that where all of this vitriol was coming from was a place of jealousy. It's a place of jealousy. And again, we're hearing a multitude of these stories about celebrities and, these wealthy people, whatever it is. But when we dig down to the core of why most people want to see successful people fail, is because there is a resentment towards it. How come you get to have that and I don't? And it's only when we start to work on that aspect of ourselves of worthiness and deservedness that we can actually do something different. We can change our lives for the better. We can adopt better habits. We can be healthier people. We don't have to be stuck. We don't have to be impoverished. We don't have to be struggling all the damn time. You change the way in which you think, you change the way in which you act, then you change the momentum of your life. Again, success is a decision. It's a choice or a series of choices that are made. It's one decision to be successful, and then the micro choices along the way. Am I going to eat this or that? Am I going to do this activity or that activity? Am I going to spend my money or invest my money? You understand me? Am I going to invest my time or squander my time and waste my time? That is the differentiation of one who becomes successful and one who doesn't. And you can look at one person and say, well, they only became successful. They didn't do any damn work. They only did a little bit. They only put one song out and it blew up, but they still put that one song out. I'm in the mind frame of, if I have to put out 1,000 different videos, 10,000 different videos, in order to, reach the masses and to become who I'm supposed to be, then I would do exactly that. I'm not going to look left and right and say, well, it only took her. Well, it's not fair because she got a million subs overnight and she didn't even do nothing. She's not even that good. That's not my business. What's that got to do with me? I have my own journey. And I believe if I need to take the reps necessary and it cultivates that character in me, then I'm going to sustain my wealth. I'm going to sustain my success. I'm going to sustain my relationship dynamic. I'm going to sustain that for the rest of my life and beyond. My children and children's children will then hopefully have those habits perpetuated within them, right? We always talk about teach a man to fish. What does that mean? It means giving the person a game. It means giving an individual the insight on what habits are necessary. Because I can give you money today. I can give you 10K and you will blow it within the next week, 2 weeks, month, whatever it is, unless you have a level of financial literacy. Nobody owes us a damn thing. As a grown individual, nobody owes you a damn thing. Not your family member, not your sister, brother. They don't owe you nothing unless you got a contract with them that says, here, you owe me X amount of dollars and we sign this as legal paperwork. Or unless you sign a contract at work and you are showing up and you are doing your job, they owe you something. They owe you something. But otherwise, day to day, somebody's finally coming up on a bag or whatever it is, they don't owe you. If they give, the mama got a car, a house, etc. She probably thought she was indebted to it. She probably thought, oh no, I deserve this. I deserve this. No, you don't. It's supposed to be the other way around, frankly. We're supposed to be handing down wealth to our children. I remember watching this, what was it? It was an episode of a podcast with these athletes. I forget what it's called. What's the damn show called? Anyway, there was a dude on there talking about how within the black community, it's like one of the only communities where you see money being passed upward instead of down, as the way it's naturally supposed to be. It's supposed to be, the parents create a nest egg or wealth, and then they pass it down to their children. Children grow it, pass it down to their grandchildren. In the black community, it's, somebody makes money and now it's going up to the mother and grandparents because somebody did not take care of business the way that they needed to. And I understand everybody has situations. Everybody goes through stuff. Some people have hard lives. I understand that. But we also have to be real and say people make decisions. That's one of the toughest aspects to actually internalize, is that there is a level of accountability in everybody's life. People have hard lives. I get it. Trust me, when I was caught up on drugs, 5 of us were. 3 homeboys allowed it to take their lives, who ended up ODing later in life. One at 22 or 23, one at around 26, and one at 28. Right? OD. Other one in and out of jail. The last of the 5, who was myself, I made different decisions. Am I better than the other? No, I'm not. But there was something in me that said I have to do something different if I want a different outcome than this. I can't keep living like this. I done got into plenty of situations that could have been detrimental for the rest of my life. And so you can say, well, that's luck. Okay, sure. But I made a decision at the age of 19 to say, I'm stepping out of that lifestyle. I'm done with this. I can't do this anymore. I'm not willing to do this. And I stepped away from the entire environment. It was the hardest decision I had to make up until that point in my life, but it was the only decision I could make in order to get a different result. Instead of blaming, oh, well, it's because of them. Well, if it hadn't been for them, but the drug did it. No, I made a decision that ended me up in a certain situation. And when we continue to try to negate and take away accountability from people, all we're doing is leaving them more susceptible to destruction. It is simple as that. We think we're doing somebody a disservice by babying them, by coddling them. No, but you don't understand. They had a hard life and this and that. Then they have the raw materials to absolutely transcend and transform their lives. Some of the people who went through the most have the most incredible outcomes because they make decisions that are so different. You look at a dude like 50 Cent, who was born not just in the hood and, in Jamaica, Queens, whatever the hell it is. I think Jamaica is in Queens, I believe. Somebody in New York tell me. I don't know the geography of it all, but I know he's from Jamaica. I had to mention New York because some people would think I'm talking about Rastafari. And he was born into poverty. His mother was a dope dealer. Father was not around. And his mother she was unalived when he was very young. And so his grandmother raised him along with like 9 other siblings or something like that. And life was tough. And if you look at where the man is now, as one of the biggest TV producers in Hollywood, the transformation of 50 Cent to now back to Curtis Jackson, a man about his business. That's one obviously example. And again, we love to use examples until it's mirrored back on us for some reason. Well, he got lucky. Well, he had this. Well, he's a sellout. Well, okay, fine. Then stay where you are. Then stay stuck. Then this is a message for the individual who actually wants something different in their life. Then that's what it is. So to you who actually knows that you have it in you, there are going to be individuals who do not want to see you win, the ones around you. My big cousin used to say, it be your own. It really be your own. And he used to send me this meme with a crocodile biting on a croc shoe. It really be your own. It really be your own damn people to do you the most dirty, to abandon you, to betray you because they don't like to see you win, because it does something to them internally. It triggers their insecurities and their feelings of inadequacy. And it's not your job to babysit their emotions. It's not your job to try to soothe and coddle these individuals who are so filled with envy. It is your job to be as successful as you can be in every area of life, and you will become the biggest benefit to the world that you can be. Simple as that. If I don't become my best version, I can't show up here every day. Simple. If I don't allow myself to go through the noise, the people who show up the least for me are the ones who share my same blood. I got strangers who show up every single day on the multiple platforms I'm on, etc. Family members, I have a lot of family members. Where they at? 90+% of them MIA. Nowhere. Now, maybe they're watching, but in the shadows. Not liking a damn thing, no comment, no support. Man, I see you. None of that. None of it. They could be watching every single day, won't say nothing. But again, it's rubbing them the wrong way because it highlights something within themselves. But it's not your job to fix them. It's your job to continue to build, to continue to become, to continue to aspire towards something higher. Simple.
I used to be afraid of the dark, place unknown like a hardening heart. I used to see my life in the bar. Now the kids unchained, every shackle is lost. 2 steps in the moonlight, 2 step in the daytime. You just know when it feel right. You got a feeling the time's not. See you through those shades that I just threw on. Through my lenses, you just can't do no wrong. I fell in love with myself again. I fell in love with myself. I fell in love with the sunshine. I fell in love with the light. I fell in love with the full moon. I fell in love with the night. I can see the light again. I can see the light. You can see the